Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to look at a game between Wilhelm Steinitz versus Kurt von Bardeleben. This guy is Steinitz was the first official world champion in chess. Some argue Morphy should have been, but there was no such title then. Morphy was the strongest player, but this was way after Morphy left chess and probably passed away. Now, this game was from the tournament Hastings 1895. This was like the biggest tournament in all of chess history because back then it's hard to play chess. Like, traveling was not easy, there were no airplanes yet. But this tournament managed to gather all the strongest players around the world to compete. And the tournament was actually won by Pillsbury, not Steinitz. Some people argue Steinitz is the worst world champion of all time, like the least accurate, but this game might convince you otherwise. So let's dive into it. We have e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and we have the Italian game. This is the Italian game when you go bishop to c4. If you go bishop to b5, it's either the Spanish or the Ruy Lopez. So this is traditional stuff. Oftentimes in here, if they go for the piano game, white plays c3 with the idea to play d4 and attack and control the center at the same time. And this is what white went for. And this has been played thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of times. Now you might consider like, hey, this pawn is hanging. Well, if you do that, actually that's this is hanging. So normally, let's say you'll takes. This is defended twice. So you might give a check, like so. And we'll block, you will capture, and I'll castle. My idea is to get here. I'll sacrifice a pawn. For example, if you go here, I'll take back. If you take, it gets complicated. And yeah, I would say this is good for white. However, none of that happened because black probably saw this and did not like that. So the game went e takes d4, d takes, and check. Similar, but without capturing the pawn yet. Knight c3, and d5, fighting back on the center. And this is like, I think this is still playable today. I guess not on the top level, but like you can see, IMs and masters in general will play this position. It's better for white, I would argue. We have two central pawns. They have one. And that's, I guess, the main difference. So, but you can see the position is relatively very symmetrical. So now black took, you might think, hey, wait, this is attacked twice and defended once. However, this is pinned, you cannot move it. So, and actually, this is attacked twice and defended once. So white has to be a little bit careful. White castle, sacrificing a pawn. And now you might go like, hey, why don't I play this? Well, this check is annoying. What do you do if you go like something like this? Well, I'll just take, you take, thinking that you might fork me. But it gets very complicated. This king is stuck in the middle, and this can be attacked. Not looking nice. So instead of that, instead of taking, black went bishop to e6, blocking this rook from attacking and adding some invisible pressure, let's say here. So now they're actually threatening to take. So we have bishop g5 counteracting these tactics, attacking the queen. And if you play f6, I mean, you weaken this diagonal, this bishop's no longer protected, so they went back here looking for a trade. And guess what? Now the most exciting thing of the game happens. All the pieces are traded. And we get this position. Now, the difference in this position, why white is better, is because this king is still in the middle and this king has castle. So the idea of white is like to put as much pressure in here with the rook and the queen and all the pieces and attack. So rook to e1 is played. Now if black castles, well, that's a free knight. Of course, black did not do that. And black needs to find a way to get his king to safety, basically. If you go like over here, I'll go here. And again, if you castle, I'll win this. Right, so Black will do an idea. It's a creative idea, and the idea is to castle by hand. He'll put the king here, this rook here, and then hide the king away, move the knight, and have a good position. And now white played the queen e2, threatening checkmate, because this is called a battery when two pieces are supporting each other like this. So black defended. And now white activated his other rook. Remember, rooks belong on the open files. So c6 was played, which I don't like. I think king to f7 would have made more sense, just to get the king to safety. I guess black was worried that this might be a weakness. Could hang in some positions, although I don't see any of that. So now white played a very creative idea. Now, this knight, it has bad future. I mean, this is a possible idea, but that square is kind of protected. Like, let's do nothing moves, for example. This knight is not hanging because of checkmate. But then black could play something like here, and they are fine, I will say. So, white found this beautiful idea to get this knight to one of these two beautiful squares. And the way to get there is actually, like, if we could go here, that would work. So what did he do? He gave away his pawn, which is a brilliant move. And he proceeded with his plan. This knight is either going here or here. Not if black does nothing, we're going to win a piece. Like, how can you defend this knight? It's attacked 1, 2, 3 times and defended only twice. So based on that, here, black played king to f7, finally. And white played knight to e6. Now this is a killer knight. This knight is worth more than a rook, in my opinion. It's like deep inside enemy territory and controls so many critical squares. You see this? So black activated his rook, looking for a trade. If you're attacking, generally you don't want to trade. Now, white played queen to g4. The idea of this, simply to attack this, and also line this up. Say if it's white to move, well, this could be mate. Other ideas could have some discovered check and winning the queen. So, black played g6 to prevent queen takes g7. Simple enough. And white played knight g5 check. Check, and the queen is attacked. And here the game will get very interesting, and here I guess where some of you will know this game. So the only way for black to save their queen is to play king to e8, defending the queen, getting out of check. Stands to reason. I know many people would, trade queens, maybe take a pawn and play a game. However, not Steinitz. Steinitz went for rook takes e7, double, triple, exclam. And let's analyze why that's such a good move, because it's not easy. So let's look at queen takes. Well, we have two attackers here now. We take, they take, we take, and we're up a piece. They have to go here, and this is easily winning for white. So queen takes does not work. What about king takes? Well, we have this check. Well, the king, I say if the king goes here, ooh, this is trouble. This is trouble. And this is mate. And where else can the king go? If the king goes here, well, we have this check here, and we have this check. But if you go here, I mean, this is mate. You'll have to sack your queen. However, you might think, yes, you got back rank mated, rook defense. That's the beauty of the symmetry of this position. So here, all the way back here, black cannot take with the queen, cannot take with the king. Because if king here, this is mate. So black is tricky. He's a good player, and he went king to f8. And now if you go like, hey, they blundered their queen, then you get back rank mated. Uh-oh. No good. And same thing if you take with the rook, you get a back rank mate. And what to do? What to do? What to do? Well, rook f7, check. Again, if queen takes, we take these pieces with check, and we'll be up a knight. If the king goes back, this is mate. And yeah, that's king cannot take because it's defended. So black took a long time to think and went for king to g8. And can you guess what white played in this position? Of course, you can't take the queen either way because you get mated. So white played rook g7. Oh my god, what's happening here? If queen takes, well, we have the same idea, winning both of these rooks up a piece. And if king takes, well, this time we take the queen with check. So, not good. So and if the king goes back, we take here with check. No, if they don't take, if they move here, this is mate. So the king will take this, and again we take the queen with check, and we take all the pieces. So the king went here. Guess what white played? Rook to h7. That's so mean. Like, this rook is hanging a million times in every position, and black cannot take it. And in this position, black did not resign. He just stood up and left. That's it. It's like, you know, when you're playing basketball with a child, and they lose and they get angry and they take the ball and leave. This is kind of what happened. And basically, if you go king to g8, we go here. If you go back, yay, repetition, except that it's not repetition. This is first mate, check, here, check, here, check. If here, well, this is mate in 2. It's the rook supports. And if you go here, I'll have this check. This is the only legal move. These squares are covered. Check. And the same mate we saw a few minutes ago. So yeah, that's why black saw this, and that's why, like, he said, like, after this position, white has a first mate in 9, and there is nothing you can do about it. And what's funny, the queens are both hanging this entire time, and back rank mate is also hanging this entire time. Yet you could always do these checks, and it just worked magically. So yeah, this is my favorite chess game of all time. And yeah, that's it. I've analyzed this long ago on my stream. You can see the link below. And if you enjoyed this video or it helped you with anything, I would appreciate it if you like and follow. Until then, have a nice day.